generating income post retirement is a big theme. We've got several questions. I'll try to aggregate them and more broadly put them across to you. So one is, of course, given the scenario of falling interest rates, how one should go about generating a good monthly income post retirement. And then a specific question is that whether instituting a systematic withdrawal plan better than choosing a dividend option for a retired person for the same reason, of course.
The first question is very important and it is top of the mind for most people in retirement deriving income from investments. And it is going to be extremely difficult for those people. Interest rates will come down. Your the default investments, the public provident fund and the senior citizen savings scheme, or even those returns will come down. And bond fund will benefit over the next 1-2 years as it is coming down. But once it stabilizes at the lower levels, your return even from bond fund will come down. I think 2-3 years is the time for smart, retirees to configure their investments in a manner that you are able to do something about it. And the whole idea should be to have a component in your portfolio which is able to grow much faster than fixed income, though it will be volatile. So it has to be in a very calibrated manner. And you have 2-3 things to do. You should definitely work towards the minimum amount that you should invest in fixed income. Only that minimum should be invested, not all your money. Generally, what happens is that some person retires and he gets 50 lakh rupees as his retirement superannuation proceeds, and he makes a deposit, and he gets all the return. That's not a very wise thing to do. Do some basic calculation that how much money that you are likely to need on a monthly basis. Take into account the pension if at all you're going to get some pension or some rental income, and do some budgeting. Do some budget. Make a budget of what is the likely income requirement on a month-on-month basis. Then see how much investment should be made in fixed income which will produce that return. And once you make that investment, remaining money should be invested in a market-linked investment, maybe a balanced fund, and that too staggered over a period of time. It is very important for an old person, somebody who is retired, to take a calibrated market exposure. So spread that money over the next 15 months, 18 months, or 2 years, maybe even 3 years, depending on, because that and it's very important to ride through the whole market cycle, because putting a lump sum in equity or a balanced fund, it can be very unnerving for a person in that stage of life. So these are two ways, and every 2-3 years, take some money out from your balanced fund, which should be growing, and do that evaluation every 2 years or 3 years, and move a part of that money into fixed income, because your need for income will grow with inflation. Maybe if the inflation is low, your needs might grow very gradually, but then you can replenish a part of it. So do this exercise every 2-3 years. This is the only way how you should be able to create a portfolio for yourself. And I'm giving a very simplified example, but this is the only way where you can do things methodically, and you will be able to eliminate the possibility of outliving your savings. Because if you make a big deposit and you start consuming all the returns that is getting produced 5 years down the line, 10 years down the line, this is going to be difficult, because rates will come down, your needs will go up, and your capital remains constant, and you will not be able to do anything about it. So take it as something urgent. Take it as a brewing emergency in your lifetime, and you need to be very proactive about it.
Sure. And just quickly on the second leg of this question, Dhiren, the choice between SWP or dividend.
While trying to explain the first part, I just lost track of the second part of the question. Yes, it is always good for retirees, but you should be looking at your tax situation. If you have no other income, SWP is always a superior way of deriving your return. And there could be you will assume. Let me just give you an example. Assuming that you make an investment of 10 lakh rupees in a fixed income fund, and you plan to withdraw 7% of your return a 7% annual return, or 6% annual return, which means that of this 10 lakh rupees, you will be taking out 60,000 rupees a year. That will translate into a 5,000 rupees a monthly withdrawal. If you take this 5,000 rupees monthly withdrawal by way of a systematic withdrawal plan, in the first month, you will be mostly taking out your capital, and the tax treatment of this will be that you will have a small income, because 5,000 rupees worth of units redeemed, the gains on those units will only be taxable. So the tax implication, even if you have to do the accounting, it will be far more tax efficient, because you are basically taking your capital out, because the appreciation on the remaining part of your investment remains invested, and that is not taxable. Your returns become taxable only when you take it out. So for next 2-3 years, if you have a lower withdrawal rate, or even a modest withdrawal rate, because you are taking a good part of it in, which is your capital back, it doesn't matter. Just be conscious of two things. One is this tax implication, and after 3 years, it becomes all very convenient. The other is the exit load. Many funds levy an exit load for early redemption, and most of these and some of these investments, when you make that in, when you take it out before 90 days, of course, liquid funds are they don't charge exit load, but most other funds actually charge a exit load. So just be conscious of that and plan things accordingly. In fact, if there is an exit load for for redemption within 6 months, maybe the money that you need within 6 months, put that money in a liquid fund, and then start your SWP after 6 months. So just be conscious of the cost, and you must be focused on saving as much as possible that you can at this stage.